there's an idea that because God allows something of our free will to happen that's evil, that somehow He's allowing it, it's being called His will, or could be called His will.
Yeah, but you have to be very, very careful about that, because a little girl gets leukemia and dies in her parents' arms. Oh, God's ways are mysterious. Well, death enters because of sin. Christ comes to save us from death. Death is not a good thing. See, we get all these very fuzzy ideas because you throw sin out the window and then evil doesn't really exist. They're just alternative goods. And so then you kind of get yin and yang-y, and so I remember having giving a retreat to a woman, she was in RCIA program, and it was like she was dealing with her father had just died, and that she was saying, well, but death is a beautiful thing, especially death with faith. Now, life without faith, is awful. And death without faith is awful. But the biblical death is a punishment for sin. It's a consequence of the abuse of freedom. So Jesus comes to save us not only from sin, but also to save us from death and to destroy death.
So,
Yes.
just to clarify, so if somebody says that somebody's death was God's will, but death is not in the will of God from the fact that it's a consequence of sin, would you say?
Right. I just think one has to be very careful with the language of. I think that most statements about God should not be made. Seriously, especially when you get the Reader's Digest. Man and woman on the street is like, God, St. Thomas Aquinas, at the end of all of his work said it's just all straw, and people